just want to take a moment and welcome the sophomore class and welcome additional guests that we've had here today. This is a tremendous day for the Barberton City Schools. And sophomores, today you're going to hear about 6 individuals that have actually walked in your shoes, have gone through some of the trials and tribulations that a sophomore goes through, decision making. Obviously, they've found themselves on the correct path, and some may have taken a different route on their path, but these are very highly successful 6 individuals that you'll hear about today, and I think it'll be a great treat for this afternoon. I do want to thank the sophomore class for your attention today, and want to thank the sophomore teachers for being here as well. I know we did some preparation with questions and things of that nature to add to our experience today. So thank you very much for that. And with that being said, Mr. Travis is going to take over the ceremony here. And once again, just welcome, and let's sit back and listen and be a great audience. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to introduce 6 of your National Junior Honor Society members that are going to introduce each one of the inductees today. Aaliyah Griffith, please come over, and she'll be introducing Brian Bidlingmeyer, class of 1991.
Bidlingmeyer graduated from Barberton High School in 1991 and then received his bachelor's in marketing and management from Siena College in Loudonville, New York. His career path took him from assistant basketball coach at Marquette University and University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee to director of player development at Western Kentucky University in Bowling Green, Kentucky. He landed back in the area of his hometown at the Lake Anna YMCA and Akron area YMCA. He initiated the Safety Around Water program, where currently 700 children participate annually and oversees all the fundraising efforts. Bidlingmeyer currently resides in Barberton with his wife Jennifer and stepchildren Olivia and Vincent. He is the Senior Vice President of Development for the Akron area YMCA. I've personally had the chance to even show Mr. Bidlingmeyer a few tips on the golf course.
Mr. Bidlingmeyer, would you like to come up and say a few words at this time?
Thank you, Aaliyah. You did a great job. You did a great job. She was so nervous. Certainly, it's an honor to be here with the other recipients, to be back in Barberton. I never thought I'd be back, and it's the best decision that I personally have ever made. I know that we're going to have some question and answers, and I'll probably be able to answer some more questions rather than just speak to you. But I think the one thing I would like to say is, if I was standing here talking to myself as a sophomore in high school, would be, your mom and dad probably knew more than you were giving them credit for at that particular time. So listen to your mom and dad.
Thank you, Mr. Bidlingmeyer. Alex Klein. Alex will be introducing Beverly Kane, class of 1977.
Kane graduated from Barberton High School in 1977, after which she received her Bachelor of Music from the University of Akron. She then earned 2 master's degrees at Kent State University in Library Science and Public Administration. She began her career as a reference librarian at Medina County District Library. Then as the manager of reference and adult services, she next was a branch manager from Upper Arlington Public Library for 5 years. Plymouth, Ohio was her next stop as director of the 6th branch system. And in 2010, she became the agency director and state librarian of Ohio. Kane currently resides in Columbus, Ohio, where she lives with her husband, James Patterson, not the author, and works as a state librarian. I got the privilege to eat lunch with her and talk with her earlier today, and I learned that she plays clarinets and she loved growing up here. Her junior year, the basketball team from Barberton won state championships, and her senior year they lost the runner-up. She also went to Portage and Memorial Elementary Schools.
I'm usually one of the shortest people on the program, and invariably I end up speaking after people who are much taller than I am. So I go through this all of the time. Well, good afternoon. It is indeed an honor to be back in Barberton, and I have always been very proud to say that I am a graduate of Barberton City Schools. I believe I got an excellent education in Barberton City Schools. I went to school here from grade 1 at Memorial Elementary School, which no longer exists, through Portage Junior High School, which no longer exists, and the old Barberton High School, from which I graduated in 1977. I had outstanding teachers who guided and supported me all along the way. Sometimes the teachers who helped me most were in subjects I liked the least. My senior year in high school, I was taking an honors calculus class, and math never was and continues to not be my forte. And yet I always found myself in these honors math classes, and I tried to drop the class. I decided I was one of only 2 girls in the class, and I was working as hard as I could and only getting a B. And I didn't like getting B's, so I wanted to drop the class. And on a Friday afternoon, I approached Elroy McManus, who was the teacher and also the high school wrestling coach, and told him I wanted to drop the class. He wouldn't let me drop the class, and he told me that I should never give up just because an opponent was bigger than I was. And I've always remembered that, and I think that was very good advice. My advice to you would be to go ahead and challenge yourself with the hard classes. Take that calculus class, even if math isn't your strongest subject, but also do the things you really liked. When I think back on my experience in Barberton Schools, what I remember is being in the band and being on the marching band field every Friday night, and being in the symphony band and playing in orchestras for musicals. And I did go on and get my bachelor's degree in music. So challenge yourself and have fun, and it's such an honor to be here. Thank you.
At this time, with Kira McQuinn, please come up, and she will be introducing Barbara Lee Fordyce, PhD, class of 1971.
Fordyce earned her bachelor's in psychology from Wittenberg University after graduating from Barberton in 1971, where she participated in a number of activities, including student council, magician staff, and choir. She then went on to receive her PhD in counseling psychology from the University of Akron. While completing the requirements for her doctorate, she was a high school English teacher and a high school and middle school counselor. She has lectured at ODH workshops and was a part-time instructor at the University of Akron, and currently works in the pain management unit at Alumni Hospital, along with owning and operating her own practice, Barbara Fordyce and Associates, LLC. She is currently residing in Canton, where she lives with her husband, Mark Casper, working as a wellness consultant, along with being on the medical staff at Altman Hospital. She also owns and operates Barbara Fordyce and Associates, LLC. Her mother, Lillian Bozen Fordyce, and sister, Jerry Fordyce Drackett, are also graduates of Barberton High School, the classes of 1939 and 1968, respectively. And I also had the privilege of sitting with her at a luncheon upstairs, and she told me that she was the featured editor of The Magician, and how it was so much different now that they used to have to cut things and put it in the newspaper, and we just read everything on the computer. And then she also was in Pep Club, which is where they make scrapbooks and stuff for the football players, and it's kind of like how we give them the bags of food.
Dr. Moore, please come up.
Can you hear? Uh-oh. I did it. Okay. Thank you for your kind introduction. I really appreciate it. And it's so wonderful that I have my very own student with me at lunch today. I want to, first of all, say many thanks to everybody here. This day is really exquisite. And I feel so blessed to be here and to be able to speak with all of you and to be a part of these inductees. There are no words that can adequately express how deeply honored I am to be inducted into this high school, Barberton High School Academic Hall of Fame. But I'm going to try. Ever since I was nominated, I've been overwhelmed and overjoyed. It's truly such a privilege, and it's also provided me with the opportunity to think about so many of my blessings in my life. I've had the great fortune to land in wonderful places with wonderful people all along the way. The foundations of an excellent education, my faith, my family, and friends has allowed me to accomplish what I have. I started out in kindergarten at Oakdale Elementary, and I finished at Barberton at the old Barberton High School. I was able to receive an exceptional education, and it was really the foundation for my future. I also was very fortunate to have wonderful parents who showed my sister and me the way. I'm so grateful to you, Dad. My father's here in the audience. He's 98 years old and wise. And also to my mom, who graduated in the class of 1939 from Barberton High School, and she's here with us all in spirit today. Thank you for your commitment, parents, to all the things that really matter in life and for providing that foundation for our entire family. My sister is also here today, and she was the valedictorian of her Barberton High School class in 1968. She committed her outstanding talent to the field of education throughout her professional life, and she too is a really amazing lady. And then further down the road of life, my family grew to include my husband, Mark, who is here with us, and our kids. He is my steadfast partner in life, and together we're trying to maintain that sense of values and foundation with the kids that we too are raising. But I also want to mention that in addition to having a marvelous family, there are other folks in my entire life who have supported me. They've been my educators, my mentors, my friends, my colleagues, and they were really instrumental in guiding me to where I am today. I encourage you all to find that family in your life. There are so many wonderful folks who are there to guide you to achieve everything that you're capable of becoming. Those folks are our family too. Not everybody is lucky enough to have the perfect family at home, but we all can have an amazing family of teachers, mentors, friends, and guides in life who can provide that support for us and get us where we need to go. The most important thing that I would have to say to all of you is really believe in everything that counts in this world and commit your passion and your energy in that direction. Believe in your own ability to make a positive difference. We can do it at work, we can do it in our homes, we can do it in our communities. I've encountered so many people along the way who provide so much in the way of kindness, and it's actually the foundation of all of our communities. I'm blessed to have grown up in this community, which is second to none. To receive this award in any community would be pretty amazing, but really to receive it here makes it off the charts. Many thanks to all who have provided the educational opportunities I've had throughout my life. And my hope for you, the students in this audience today, is that you appreciate your education and you make it count. Embrace all that life has to offer you. Follow your dreams, find helpful support, and know too that you can make a significant difference in this world. Thank you.
Thank you. 10th graders. I know we can be a better audience than that. At this time, I'd like to introduce Kate Walker. He'll be introducing Christopher P. Herchek, class of 1978.
Herchek graduated from Barton High School in 1978, after which he graduated from the University of Akron with an associate's degree in surveying and construction technology, a bachelor's in construction technology, and received an honor A Key Award for high academics and campus involvement. He also has an MBA from Kent State University. Some of his successes include being on both the University of Akron Engineering and Science Technology Academic Advisory Board and the Finance Council at St. A's Church, Vice President, ETA Triton Chapter Phi Sigma Kappa Fraternity, Project Manager, Senior Project Manager of over 30 multi-million-dollar monumental high-rise projects in over 24 major U.S. and international cities. Project Manager of a CNG corporate-wide $40 million GIS IT project, Corporate Contracts Manager, and Manager of Construction for projects worth over $70 million for Dominion East Ohio. Coach of multiple championship youth baseball teams. Herchek is currently a Senior Project Manager for Wheaton and Sprague Engineering Incorporated and resides in Richfield, Ohio. He has two children, Hallie Rose, currently attending the University of Akron, and Christian Henry at Revere High School. He is the son of Stephen H. and Therese R. Herchek.
I'm going to be a little bit longer. It's only because I'm an engineer type, and I'll get to that in a minute because sometimes people look at us strange to begin with. So first, I want to thank Mr. Ramitz. He's still here. I think he disappeared. Mr. Andres, thank you. Mr. Muir and Mr. Travis for making me feel so welcome today. I also would like to thank the Board of Education, those who nominated me, as well as the Hall of Fame Selection Committee who chose me to be here today. I also want to congratulate my fellow inductees, a well-deserved honor for each of you. I am truly, deeply humbled by being here today, sincerely, for it's a very special honor to be recognized by your hometown. As you heard in the intro, I am an engineer type. So, is there any, what do I want to say, Jeff Foxworthy fans? Anybody? He's a comedian. Look it up sometime. You guys? I got 2, 3. Okay. He actually attended Georgia Tech for a while until he got into his comedic act in engineering of all things. So I think there's a lot to be said about the connection in between comedy and engineering. So in this vein, I offer the following, just in levity. You may be an engineer if you take a cruise just so you can go on a personal tour of the engine room, you must be an engineer. If you sit backwards on a Disneyland ride so you can see how they do their special effects, you must be an engineer. If your significant other hasn't the foggiest idea of what you do at work, you may be an engineer. If when your family is expecting a baby and you're more interested in the ultrasound equipment than the test results, you must be an engineer. If you are willing to debate for 2 hours the possible results of an experiment that takes 5 minutes to run, you must be an engineer. If you're next in line to suffer the guillotine, and when it malfunctions you offer to fix it, you must be an engineer.
If you think people yawning around you are only sleep deprived, you definitely are an engineer. So in reality, engineers aren't boring. It's just that we get excited about boring things. So with that, Mrs. Adnan promised me that she would be standing in the wings today. And if I lost you as an audience, she would save you by yanking me off the stage with a long pole. Okay. She's not back there, so this means that once I'm done, you can all claim the title of victim. Seriously, when she notified me of the need for me to say a few words here today, my first question was, for how long? I wasn't concerned with the public speaking part of it. My concern was that I could talk all day long about my hometown. Just ask my kids. They roll their eyes a lot. So it was suggested that I talk about what it was for me at your age, what it was like, how I chose the profession that I did, maybe recognize a few academic guides along the way, and summarize the road of my professional life thus far. Foremost, and don't forget, I want to let you know that I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. My family lived on my mother's salary as a secretary due to a permanent illness of my father that he had contracted during his military service to our country. We had a two-bedroom house, one bathroom, no shower, mind you, with 2 parents and 4 siblings. Yep, 7 people in a 2-bedroom, 1,100 square foot house. Had no medical insurance at times, but we scraped by. Thus, new clothes were rare. Vacations was a movie night out at the Magic City Drive-In, out on 31st Street, with a bag of popcorn that we popped at home. Ate more bean soup, grilled cheese, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that I care to remember. But I could say on the lighter side that I'd always had plenty to eat. How did I know that? Because every time I asked for seconds, I was always told, no, you've always had plenty. My father died at the start of my junior year, basically the same age as you are here. 1 month later, the grandfather that I was close to also died. That left my mother and 4 siblings. Now, I'm not saying that I had it any better or worse than anybody here today, but it wasn't easy. So why do I think I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth? Because I was blessed with the experiences that I had just mentioned. Each uniquely prepared me for life. It's because my parents taught me that life is a matter of making choices, whether good or bad, and the outcomes would reflect the choices that I made. I would have nobody else to blame. It was because I was given an education here. And if I would be willing to work hard and have a strong will to overcome the problems and difficulties in life, in this great country, I could amount to something. This is why I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was born, raised, and educated in this hard-working town called Barber. Born into this great country of opportunity, and I was taught personal responsibilities for the choices that I make. Looking back, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. For it instilled in me not only the desires to succeed, but also the need to help others. There's a Chinese proverb that says, to know the road ahead, ask those coming back. And I think that's the reason why we're here today. We're back. Now, I'm going to make some assumptions here. I'm going to assume that you want to be professionally successful. I'm also going to assume that you want to have a good personal life, that you want to feel needed and want to feel secure about your future. So, what do you want to do? It's critical that you have hopes, dreams, and ambition. There's a saying in life that either you're growing old or dying, nothing in between. For example, there's a tree that's either growing or dying. The same can be said for flowers, a relationship, a business, and you as a person. Believe me, growing doesn't have anything to do with age. Shoot, I'm coming to the realization that my birthday candles will soon cost more than my cake. So age has nothing to do with growing, but growing has everything to do with trying to get better by using the tools that are presented to us. So what tools am I talking about? They're the tools that you are being taught in the classroom today. Seriously. For illustration, did you know that there are only 5 primary colors in the world? just 5. But look at all the great masterpieces that have been painted over the centuries, just using 5 colors. Another example, I'm no musician, but I can play a mean steering wheel. I do know that there are only 7 basic musical notes, 7, and yet look at all the great music that has been made over the centuries with just those 7. Not to be remiss, 10 basic numbers, same story. Unless you're in computers, then there's only 2 numbers, 1 and 0. But it's gotten us to the moon and back. You see, what you're being taught right now may not make much sense to you. But if you will, it's those same 5 colors, 7 musical notes, and 10 numbers. It's up to you, not anyone else, to determine how you want to use them going forward. Truthfully, I struggled with math, struggled with science, struggled with physics, both in high school and my first year up at ACMU. I even once had a 7th grade teacher tell my mother that she felt that I wouldn't make it through high school. And she was further concerned that I probably wouldn't be able to support myself in life. True story. So, expected outrage, right? No. If she were alive today, I wouldn't be able to thank her enough. Why? Like a true Barbertonian, it made me mad. It made me mad. I wanted to prove her wrong. I also really wasn't sure of what I wanted to do with my life. And I know you're right at that age. And trust me, I know my son, he's the same age, and it changes every week. However, as I looked around me, I realized that building things had a positive effect on people. It seemingly gave them a sense of progress, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride. I guess it was these qualities that eventually attracted me to my degrees in both engineering and business, and further in engineering and the construction industries. Kind of makes sense, right? Horrible in math, horrible in science, horrible in physics, so why not be an engineer? You know, they say that teaching is a profession that teaches all other professions. And it's true. I mean, everybody up here on stage, we are all the products of a teacher. So teaching is the profession that teaches all other professions. So let me mention a few that helped me here at Barberton. And I think Beverly will probably recognize some of these names. Mrs. Berenson and Mrs. Tehigh. I had them for algebra, trading, and pre-calc. They worked my butt off. But it became the basis of really everything that I did after that. Under the guise of everything in moderation and using the other side of the brain, there was Mrs. Eckenrode, Gladys Eckenrode. All due respect, she was my Brit teacher. Literature and English classes was like a second language to me. Sentence diagrams, oy. However, after initially gagging on it, I came to realize what a hoot Shakespeare was. 40 years later, I can still recite some of the prologue to Canterbury Tales, and I won't do that for you here, but if you want to hear it, I'll give it to you. Mr. Trena, chemistry teacher. I had a story about him here. One day, and I know you guys could all relate to this, all of a sudden your teacher comes in, they got a smile on their face, and there's a question that's laid out there to the class. And you sit there and you think, where did this come from? Well, he had one of those one day, and he asked, if you could be one element in the periodic elements chart above me, which one would you be? And of course, no hands, people are starting to sink in their seats, everything but, what he was trying to get at. All of a sudden his face lit up, and he says, I've got somebody over here. Immediately I looked up, saw where he was pointing, and realized it was my lab partner. My lab partner gets up, Mr. Trena repeats the question, and he says, Mr. Trena, I wish I could be neon. And he goes, hey, that's great. In all the years of teaching, I never had somebody bring up neon before. So tell me, Mr. Bouldry, why would you want to be neon? And he said, because I like to see my name up in lights. to say that the extra paper that we had gotten from that night did take a little work, but did finally get it done. My first year at the University of Akron wasn't anything to write home about. In fact, I don't even think I was even walking right after that ended. Dr. Bez Pachenko, Dean of the Engineering College, summed it up best on the first day of school. He had a theater of 300 first-year engineering students, and Dr. Bez started off by saying, look at the person to your left, look to the person to your right. Of the three of you, in 4 years, only one will be graduating. You talk about it, Dr. Downer. It was sobering, but you know, in the end, he wasn't too far off with his numbers. Only about a third of us did survive. But he goes to say that hard work without an education is a shame, but an education without hard work is a tragedy. And it's true. It was hard work to get through Akron, but for whatever I lacked in brain cells, I wasn't going to let anyone outwork me. As Dave mentioned, I did get my BS, I did get my MBA. So what did I do with my 5 colors? My 7 musical notes, my 10 numbers? In short, I'm involved with the design and manufacture, construction of high-rise commercial buildings. Corporations, hospitals, universities, airports, government, buildings of all shapes and sizes. The tallest being an iconic 72-story building in Dallas, Texas. You can't miss it. That is outlined, ironically, in neon. The smallest, 5 stories, 3 football fields long, for company names like Facebook, Intuit, Novartis, Boeing, General Dynamics, and the Supreme Court justices. Personally, I manage and direct an effort that takes thousands of people to accomplish across many different companies and expertise. It's challenging to bring all these people and products together on time under budget. Every day, safety and millions of dollars are at stake. My work has physically taken me to places all over the country. I won't even name them. Matter of fact, probably half of them I forgot. Internationally, I include Canada, London, Geneva, Paris, Athens, Greece. Personally, my office has been located in Cincinnati, Dallas, Minneapolis, and was scheduled to move to London. But in all my 30 years of traveling and doing business around the world, I am often asked, and I think we all ask this of ourselves, so where do you come from? My answer? Well, I'm from the Akron, Ohio area. Oh, and where is Akron? My reply? It's about 7 miles northeast of Barberton, my hometown. It's in this hometown vein, and having coached championship youth baseball teams in each of the last 8 years, that aside from the game, I've often wondered why baseball resonates with so many people, players and fans alike. Maybe it's the teamwork, maybe it's the hard work effort, but again, the game aside, I also think it's maybe because it's a representation of the journey of life that we take. It begins in the dugout with our family and our community, learning and observing the game, and then with a bat in our hand, we alone take our turn in the world at home plate. We swing hard, and as we can, and as we head out along the base paths, separating ourselves to see how far we can go, we use our wits, will, and hard work to advance one base at a time. And one day we find ourselves rounding third and heading for home, back to where we are known, with people who we are like. I feel that personally today. So let me leave you with a few thoughts. There's never a right time to do the wrong thing, and there's never a wrong time to do the right thing. Simply do just what is right. After all, the street definition of integrity is to do the right thing when no one is looking. There's a saying that falling down is life, but getting back up is living, so get used to it. I know it's tough love, that stuff. But again, it's part of life, everyone's life. No one escapes it. However, we do have a choice. We can either let these problems and difficulties consume us, or we could use them to strengthen ourselves. Be strong. Find that inner strength. Find a mentor. Ask for help. There are teachers, religious, many in this community who are waiting for you to ask them for help if you need it. So sincerely do that. Do everything to the best of your ability with the time allotted to you. Do you realize that every person on the face of the earth is given the same 168 hours a week to work with? Nobody gets any more. Make those hours count. Make them significant, because you'll never be able to get those hours back. Do your job. You guys know that. Whatever it is, and do it so well that you'll be proud of the result. Finally, for inspiration, take a little time to do some research on your hometown. What you'll find is that it's always been a magical place. You'll also discover the great things achieved by those who have come before you. Olympians, those who have honorably served in the armed services, those who have achieved in the business world, sports, academia, medicine, law, politics, nonprofits, volunteer services to others in the religious life, and those here on the stage next to me. You name it, I guarantee many from Barberton have done it, and so can you. This is your heritage. This is both your personal and your community DNA. It's there. Trust me, I know it's there. I see generational names today in the school district that were here even when I roamed the halls of the previous building. It's now time for you to step up like the generations before you. It's time for you to write your own story. I'm not telling you it'll be easy, though, not in the least. But what I will tell you, it's going to be worth it. Thank you. And go Magic.
Thank you, Mr. Griffith. At this time, Hannah Gordon is going to introduce Michael J. McNulty, class of 1967.
McNulty earned his bachelor's from the University of Akron in 1971 after graduating from Barberton High School in 1967, then to earn his Juris Doctor degree from Akron Law School in 1974. He began working at Cyberlane Tire and Rubber while attending college and became Barberton's law director from 1976 to 1991, where he managed the prosecutor's office during several high-profile criminal cases. In 1991, he was elected as a municipal court judge for Barberton and served for 15 years. McNulty currently resides in Uniontown, currently serving as a visiting judge in Northeast Ohio. He is married to Angie, his wife of 48 years, and has 2 children, Shannon and Sean, and 2 grandchildren, Camden and Brooklyn. He played football at BHS in high school and was actually in the first ever Bell game versus Cuyahoga Falls in 1966.
Thank you, Hannah, for the introduction. And I'd like to say I'm very humbled and honored to be here today as a recipient of this great honor. I'd like to especially thank Mr. Kaler and Mr. Andres and the selection committee for thinking I was worthy of such an honor. Appreciate it very much. Well, back in 1965, I was a sophomore like many of you at the old high school. None of us up here had the pleasure of going to a school like this. I went to a Sadie Hawkins Day dance. That's a dance where the girls get asked the boys to dance. And I was standing there with my good friend Chuck, who was a Barberton High graduate and a very successful architect. And this beautiful girl comes up and asks me to dance. Well, long story short, later this month we'll be celebrating our 49th wedding anniversary. I'd like to introduce my wife, Monica. Also living here today is my daughter, Shannon. Shannon was a graduate of Barberton High School in 1990. She was an excellent varsity cheerleader, went on to Kent State University, where she graduated with a degree in art. I'd like Shannon to stand up, please. She's just waving her hand. Thank you. My son, Sean, could not be here today. He's dealing with a real sick dog that's probably on his way out, but it's another story. Sean was a graduate of Barberton High School in 1993. outstanding football and basketball player. He played with Mr. Bidlingmeyer. He was dressed as a freshman for the basketball team. Sean went on to Kent State University, played college football, and then transferred to Hofstra, where he graduated in 1998, I believe, with a degree in business. Now, I came to Barberton as a youngster in about the middle of the third grade. My family moved to this town. And I went from third grade all the way through the high school in the public education system. Remember that, your education is free. And you're getting a wonderful education in Barberton school systems, as I did. I'd like to shout out the names of some of the teachers I had along the way, starting with Mr. Murphy, my sixth grade teacher. That man put up with so much from me and my buddies that it was unbelievable. But he kept the school, didn't kill anybody, he did his job, and we all made it through the sixth grade. I then went on to Highland Junior High School. I'd like to mention a couple of my teachers there. Mr. Harry Boschlinger was a great science teacher. Mr. Stokes was a great math teacher. I worked with Mr. Boschlinger when I was city law director. He was on the city council and got to know Harry very well. He was a great man. Then moved on to Barberton High School, where I also had some great teachers. Mr. Hirschek mentioned Mrs. Eckenrode. She was a wonderful teacher. The one that stands out to me is Mr. McManus, who was the math teacher. One of the most brilliant people you'll ever come across. And after barely scraping through the 11th grade trigonometry class, I didn't know what he was talking about 3/4 of the time. It became apparent to me that I wasn't going to be taking analytical geometry or calculus because I wouldn't be able to pass them. So thanks to Mr. McManus for putting me on the road to law school instead of engineering school. I'd also like to mention a couple of my coaches. My football coach at Highland, Mr. Brickles, very tough, very demanding, but he got us ready to play football at Barberton High School. And of course, Coach Tom Phillips was my head coach at Barberton, also a very tough individual, very demanding. Some of us thought he was mean at times, but I'd like to think that he made myself and my teammates, at least was in part responsible for making us the men we are today. Now, Hannah mentioned the Bell game. Tonight is the 52nd anniversary of the Bell game. I know that, as she said, because I played in number 1 back in 1966. Just so you know, Barberton was trailing 18-6 at halftime in that first Bell game. And we had a defensive coach named Tom Bold, and he went ballistic in the locker room at halftime, slammed his fist so hard into the chalkboard that his watch disintegrated and sprayed over the whole locker room. But he got his point across. We came back in the second half and won the game 29-26. So that was the first Bell game against a very good Cotton Falls team. As mentioned, I went on to the University of Akron, majored in history, and went on to Akron Law School. Probably my greatest academic achievement in my life would have been finishing 4 years of college and 3 years of law school in 7 years, having worked full-time for 4 of those years at Cyber Tire and Rubber Company 6 nights a week. Tell you a couple of quick stories about law school. Hannah's thinking about law school. I appreciate this. Some of the courses were 2 semesters long, and you got 6 credit hours for the 2 semesters, and there was 1 test that made up your whole grade at the end of 2 semesters. One of those courses was corporations, and we were waiting to start that test for 6 credit hours, and there was no professor. Professor Grant was nowhere to be found. We were all getting a little nervous. Where's Professor Grant? Next thing I know, somebody in a full gorilla costume comes up from behind me and starts choking me around the neck. It was Professor Grant. That was his way of breaking the tension. Had another professor in law school, Mr. Briner, who had a bad leg. He'd walk around the law school with a limp. He taught income tax. And I had to pass the 2 semesters of income tax in summer school, my last year of law school, to graduate on time. Long on 2 occasions, I came out of the men's room in the lobby of the law school, and the door pushed outward, pushed the door open, thud. On 2 occasions, I knocked Mr. Briner to the ground, and I still expected to pass his income tax class, which thankfully I did. My other achievement academically was to take 19 credit hours in summer school to be able to graduate on time. And that was important because I graduated from law school in '74. That put me in position to run for law director in 1975. I won that election unopposed. It should have told me something about the nature of the job. But I served 15 years as law director. During those years, I worked very closely with the 2 sitting municipal court judges, Adam Gadnack and John Judge, both of whom are graduates of Barberton High School, both of whom have passed on since. In 1991, I had the honor of being appointed to replace John Judge as judge of the municipal court and serve there for the next 15 years, retiring in 2006. Since then, I've been working as a visiting judge in the area from various municipal courts, and that's in the nature of like a substitute teacher type job. I enjoy it very much. So for you folks that are here, be thankful for the facilities you have. The old high school was nothing like this, believe me. Be thankful for the teachers you've had throughout your careers as students in Barberton. Listen to what they tell you. Believe me, it'll stand you in good stead down the road, whether you plan on going to college, whether you plan on going to trade school, whether you plan on going into the military or right into the job market. The things you learn here at this school will stand you in good stead for the rest of your lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. McCullough. At this time, would Jaden Morgan please come to the podium? He's going to introduce John F. Taylor, PhD, class of 1962.
Dr. Taylor graduated from Barberton High School in 1962, went to the Ohio State University earning his bachelor's, and received his master's and PhD in clinical psychology from Kent State University. He also served as captain in the United States Army as a psychologist. Along with a number of publications credited to him, he also taught psychology at 3 colleges and was selected to write the article on ADHD for Encyclopedia Americana. He furthermore was invited to the Republic of South Africa to assist on bringing it up to date in its treatment of ADHD, instructing physicians, psychologists, and others. Taylor resides in Monmouth, Oregon, working as a consultant and trainer on autism and ADHD. He is the father of 8 children and is married to his current wife, Jean. He was also an author of, is the author of 24 books, and one of which is a bestseller.
Thank you very much. What a privilege to be here. I want to thank the school board and those involved in arranging this. And I do feel very honored to be here. My roots with Barberton go pretty deep. My mother graduated from Barberton High School and worked as an employee of Barberton City Schools as a teacher. My father also taught for Barberton City Schools. And Dr. Fordyce mentioned Memorial School, which is no longer there, that she attended that. Well, I actually observed them building Memorial School, and I was in the first class of Memorial School. So I've been here. Barberton's been in my heart a long, long time. And if I had opportunity to speak to you young people from the perspective of having gone out in the cold, cruel world with the education Barberton High School gave me, I would say, first of all, I would like to echo what you've heard from these other people here, that take your education seriously. Barberton High School did a great job for me, and you heard the other people say that too. And our school was quite a bit different from the one you have here, and a lot of really good memories from the school have always stayed with me. I would like to point out to you that your teachers really do care about you. They're not just having a job to earn money. They really do care about you. I entered a poetry contest and happened to be get an honorable mention in Ohio for Ohio Poetry Society, and they would send the high school teacher the information on any high school student who entered. So Mr. Stitt, the English teacher at Barberton High School, got this letter from them, and he was so impressed. He was all excited about one of his students who actually liked poetry, and so he took me aside and arranged separate assignments for me. He actually gave me individualized instruction assignments, so extra credit essays to do and so forth. He honed that skill at writing. Well, lo and behold, I ended up writing 24 books, one of which is a bestseller. So I'd like to just point out that your teachers are going to do their best to give you information academically, but they also have a heart for you. I'll never forget Mrs. Miller, the biology teacher, pointing out to us, and this is a junior in 11th grade, that you can't look at a butterfly's wing under a microscope and see all those scales in that perfect order and all the colors integrated in an engineered way, and conclude that it's a result of accident or chance. And when there's order, there's an orderer. When there's organization, there's an organizer. And I'd like to invite you at your age to take a good close look at your relationship with life and the world and why you are here, what life is all about, the spiritual side of yourself. You heard Dr. Forsyth mention that for her, important for her. That's an important aspect of your life, and you're at a time in your age right now. The decisions you make will affect you for your whole life. Friendships are also a key part of your enjoyment here at this high school. I remember a group of us were volunteering to plaster the school with those little enthusiastic signs on a Friday because the football game was going to come up. You've seen those signs in the hall there. And one of my friends, one of the cheerleaders, was with me doing that, and I had this pile of signs to put up. We put up with masking tape on the walls. And I saw this one that said NIM. I said, somebody must have invented a new word. So I just put up NIM right over a drinking fountain there. And my friend, the cheerleader, said, John, that's win. Oh, there we go. It's upside down. Anyway, fond memories of high school. Your social relationships, the quality of friends you have, the people you surround yourself with, will be a great determiner of how happy your life ends up being and the directions it takes. Your ability to resist things that would send you off the path of success will also help dictate whether you have a successful and happy life. And you're at an age where you are having to make those decisions, and it's time to start thinking about it. You better get clear on what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. You've probably heard many of the people here mention the idea of thinking straight, taking advantage of what is going to help you, and so forth. Use your good judgment. Use your good judgment about your friends. Are you doing wholesome activities? Do they fill your mind with wholesome thoughts? They use clean language about you. Are you having a good, clean fun with your friends? I hope you are, because you're going to have a better, happier life. I just attended the 55-year reunion of 1962, and guess who wasn't there? Almost all of our classmates who were smoking cigarettes when they were in high school with us. You know why they weren't there? So, pay attention if a creepy weirdo comes up to you and says, hey kid, you want to use these drugs? Make your wise decisions to defend yourself. He doesn't think you're worth anything, but I want you to realize how important you are. You are lovable, valuable, and precious. Treat yourself that way. Have respect for yourself in every way. Make wise decisions and shun those things that would shackle you, ruin your brain and your life. Also, your work ethic has been mentioned by just about every other person here. If you have any problems with any of your studies, your teachers care about you. Go ahead and talk to them. Talk to your school counselors. They want to help you. and get really good at studying, preparing for tests, get that act together, and it'll help you in your life. So get your work and productivity skills sharpened. This is a good time to do it. Think about that. And your play and recreation skills. Have your recreation be meaningful, enjoyable, enriching, fulfilling. You have so many things to choose from here at this high school. With the athletics, you got music programs, art programs, special interest programs, and so forth. Go ahead and do that. Have a broad range of experience. Colleges would rather admit you if you show a wide range of interest in your life than if you have no interest at all and simply get high grades. And so you're better off with a balanced sort of life. And again, you've heard my colleagues here talk to you about the various aspects of their lives they've been involved with. So you have an opportunity here at this high school to explore all that. So go ahead, expand your recreational pursuits and find what your heart is in and enjoy it. So make your wise decisions about work, about play, about your friendships, about your own self-worth, and your relationship to the cosmos. If you have your act together, so to speak, in these 5 areas of functioning, you'll probably have a very successful and happy life. Thank you very much. I hope this has been helpful.
Okay, I know we have come to the end of the day. We're very close to the end of the day. So sophomore class and sophomore teaching staff, I certainly want to send a big thank you to you. Students, you were an excellent audience today. You did a great job. Hopefully you have a few takeaways with you today. You do need to put some thought into that. Inductees, thank you so much for your time and your words of wisdom today. We are going to adjust our schedule a little bit. We're going to be moving up to the theater area. And like I said, once again, students, you did a great job. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Travis. He's going to have dismissal instructions for everybody. But thanks again. Let's give these folks one more round of applause.
Just like our grade level meetings, we're going to have half of you dismissed out through this door, and the other half on this side, you're going to be dismissed out through the front of the auditorium. You may do so at this time.